Hey, what's going on guys, Mixuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a Golgari aggro deck for Standard 2022. So I've been wanting to play this deck for a while now. It was one of my first couple ideas when the D&D set first dropped, but I kind of forgot about it, hadn't gotten around to it, but we're playing it today, and it's honestly been a lot of fun. So we take some of the more aggressive green cards and some of the more aggressive black cards and combine them together. This means that we can play good mana ramp and fixing in Despair Sentinel, and a good aggressive learn card and Eye Twitch on one, as well as cheap interaction with the Bloodchief's Thirst that doesn't require a creature to be on the board like Blizzard Brawl does and can hit Planeswalkers. We also get access to a ton of powerful 2-drops. Honestly, I think that the 2-drop spot is my favorite part of this deck. We have Pack Leader and White as 2-mana creatures with 3 power that both generate more value for you. White generates more zombies, and Pack Leader is a mana sink that generates more cards. Also, the mana, while you might think is not ideal to have a double green creature on 2, it comes out on 2 more than you'd think. The Snarls really do help with that. They let us curve out Eye Twitch into Werewolf Pack Leader, or even if we don't have Snarls, you can kind of force double green via your pathways or forests. We are like a pretty even split. I hate that glitch, by the way, where it shows you like you have 250 of everything. Anyways, yeah, we are even split, but we do prioritize green because we need double green on 2. And honestly, combined with the Despair Sentinel and the Snarls, it works out a lot of the time. Ranger class is crazy. Any green aggressive deck should be running it. You have the Wolf, the +1/+1 counters, and the Vivian 5 passive, which is really good. You're going to see today, we just absolutely wreck a control player because we have Ranger class on level 3 and they just can't deal with the constant flow of creatures. So on 3, we have some pretty solid 3-drops. We have Kazandu Mammoth. Again, a lot of these green cards are aggressive mono green cards, so the deck might seem similar, but yeah, we do support them with all these black cards. Anyways, Kazandu Mammoth. When a land ETBs gets +2/+2, also a tap land. Also helps us push towards having more green, right? It's a creature a lot of the time, but can also just be a tapped green land, which is totally fine. And Nighthawk Scavenger. This card's really good in aggro mirrors. Anytime your life total really matters, this thing can get really big and be a evasive threat, a blocker for any massive creature, or just like a big life gain source. So I really like the Scavenger, but I think at 2 it's really solid. We, again, for the same reason that we can curve Eye Twitch into Pack Leader, we can play the 3-drops with double green and double black, mostly because of Snarl and Pathway. Anyways, on 4 we have Chariot and Draco Lich as aggressive 4-drops that also generate value. This thing can reanimate itself over and over again, whereas the Chariot generates more 2/2s and copies tokens over and over and over again. So Chariot's really good along with the Ebon Death. If you guys want, you can try to run the Professor, no, not the Professor, the Gnarled Professor. I was playing around with that. I found this split better, but you can always look into that. And at our top end, we have Westgate Regent as a very powerful finisher that essentially, if it connects, becomes an 8/8 and then a 16/16 and then a 32/32. Also has Ward, blocks Goldspan Dragon. Sadly, it's not a 4/5, but you know what? That's okay. It's a solid enough 5-drop that we get to a lot of the time because we are a 28-land aggro deck, right? Because of the Kazandu Mammoth. Mana base, like I've been speaking about, we have the Snarls and Pathways, which really help. Even split between basics and just 2 Lair of the Hydra as our creature land that also, can enter untapped and is our push towards more green mana. For the learn board, which we have via Eye Twitch, we have Environmental Sciences to get more land if you need it, Necrotic Fumes to remove a thing, Basic Conjuration to gain some life and find another creature, Containment Breach to remove artifacts or enchantments, another threat if you might need one, Expanded Anatomy to give something vigilance and make it bigger in case that's what you really need to be doing. I play this in a ton of aggressive decks learn boards, and 1 Mascot Exhibition because we are getting to 5 a lot of the time for our Westgate Regent, so getting to 7 isn't completely out of the question. So we do have that in here as well. Anyways, guys, if you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video. It will be in the description down below as always, and consider subscribing. It motivates you to make more content. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, wow, really good hand. Nice mana, nice curve. We don't get punished at all for our card choices, which is great. And the Snarls are a large part of that. So we start by revealing the forest because we want to get the pack leader down on 2. And if we were having mana trouble, we have the sentinel to help fix that. Okay, Rakdos. Rakdos with the Malachi or Meyer. Interesting. Okay, and they have a 1-drop in the form of the Charger. So this technically trades with my board. Or not with my board, it trades for the pack leader. So I do think I hold back until I can draw a card with the pack leader and just poke in through the air. Play out the Kazandu Mammoth. We're looking very mono green right now, minus the eye twitch. But it's okay, we have some pretty sick black flyers to help get us there. Also, landfall for next turn. We can decide whether or not we want to pump the pack leader or play out on a Seeker's Chariot. Ranger class. Interesting. I'm thinking about slamming that. We get Ranger class down, we make this a 2/2. It doesn't sound terrible. This needs to attack for pack tactics to trigger, and then they're just going to block it with the Charger and send the damage back. It's either this or the Chariot that we want. This provides more future pressure. This provides more pressure right now, but it also adds a 2/2 to the board. I'm kind of liking Ranger class. I like the constant value that is the +1/+1 counter. So we give it to the Flyer, another Ranger class, nice. Oh, they double block like that. I did not expect that. So you know what we can do? We can make sure they keep the Fireblade Charger and get rid of Kalane. So the only thing we will lose is the pack leader. That doesn't sound so bad. And they go to learn. That is a hit. I don't love losing that, but it's all right. I could have also put the counter there to have it trade with the Charger as well, but then we wouldn't have our eye twitch, and the opponent scoops it up. Yeah, they're under a lot of pressure. If a good board presence and Ranger class is leveled up, also followed up by a Seeker's Chariot, we're in a good spot. Okay, pretty sweet hand. We are going to need to draw some lands, but in the meantime, Kazandu Mammoth can act as one. And we will start on the Jasper Sentinel. Pretty nice. And then we can go into the Ranger class. Okay, they foretell. Alright, so we're facing control. I think with Ranger class, our control matchup is really good. The class providing us constant sources of damage, card advantage, all that good stuff. I'm going to get down double black, and I think this turn I want to play out a Mammoth. We could be playing into Counterspell, but if we level this up and they have removal, we're playing into Removal Spell. Okay. They play Poison the Cup, they're going to get to scry a little bit. But I think that's okay. Mammoth down. We're looking very mono green, as our very aggressive cards tend to be. Okay, they divide this back to my hand. Pack leader. I think I'm good leveling up the class and then playing out the pack leader. But that just means that we might have to take a turn off playing Westgate Regent. I think it's still worth it. I'm trying to think, is it this and tap land into the Westgate Regent? Or is it this into pack leader and level up class? I think I'm down for, well, we're going to have a lot of land anyways. Maybe I do want to preserve my creatures. Okay, we're going to go for the option that lets us preserve our creatures in case we draw more land naturally and maybe play this a little bit slower. I also like getting this leveled up. Control has a hard time dealing with a lot of big creatures, whereas like a 1/1 just for a sentinel, they don't really have to respect. They have to respect it if it keeps growing. Okay, glad we waited because Soul Shatter is a really good answer to this card. So we attack. Play out Kazandu Mammoth. Play out tap land. See, we drew the land naturally, which is pretty cool. Now what? We're either leveling up Ranger class or casting Westgate Regent. And right now it looks like we're playing the Regent. I'm down to not lose tempo leveling this up as long as I still have threats to deploy. Because ideally the turn I level up the class, I have enough mana to play something off the top of my deck. And this is going to essentially be a 2-for-1. There isn't any sweeper in black that deals with it. Shadow's Verdict doesn't hit it. Crippling Fear doesn't hit it. So they need either targeted removal like Poison the Cup, which we've seen that they have, or they need Soul Shatter, which would be ideal, but they just spent a Soul Shatter. Okay, they play Environmental Sciences, which is totally fine. And they have the Soul Shatter. Okay, that's kind of frustrating, but it's okay. So is it time to level this up? I think we just go into another 2 threats. We're really making the opponent work for this. If they have a Planeswalker, we have Bloodchief's Thirst, which is pretty cool. Graven Lore. Okay, nice. We're going to get a turn of straight beatdown. I mean, I think so. They might have a Bloodchief's Thirst here. Okay, nothing. Let's level up the class. Land on top, not ideal. And I suppose we'll give this to the white. I'm going to hold Sentinel. I don't want to overextend into another sweeper. And like I said before, Sentinel alone can be a real threat. Flunk. Okay, I guess that's a reason to actually play out the Sentinel. They foretell. Snarl comes down, making my Mammoth a 5/5. Okay, Poison the Cup. I was gonna say, how much spot removal can they throw at me? Apparently a lot. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Keep it coming. To hold this or not to hold this? I still think we hold this. I want it for a turn where I brick out on the top of my deck. Lolth. Okay. Lolth makes some spiders. How much do I care about it though? I'm considering either Bloodchief's thirsting one of these spiders and attacking with both. I kind of like that. Then they don't have any good blocks. And yes, they can make more spiders, but I think that's fine. Or is it just blow up Lolth? Maybe it is just blow up Lolth. Interesting questions, because if we blow up the spiders, the opponent gets more loyalty. I can push in a bunch of trample damage with the werewolf, which I kind of like. I think I'm good to remove Lolth here, but I want to go into combat first. I know. Very well aware. So we send this face, plus Lolth's plus won't be as good. Oh, I probably should have played that off the top of my deck, knowing we draw with the pack leader. That's a slight oops. Okay, they double block here. Do I go for the damage? How much is this going to be? 5, 6? So it would be 6. 4, 5, 6, 7. We could put them to 1. I think that's worth it. So they can't use Loth now? Well, they can minus Loth, but they can't actually plus Loth, and minusing Loth would take her out completely. Do we blow her up? I think we just keep going wider. Kind of like that. Okay. That might not have been the perfect turn, but it wasn't that bad. Okay, they have to get rid of Loth to make some spiders, and we're technically wide enough to kill them. I do regret not playing my Eye Twitch out first. Graven Lore, lots of card draw. They need a removal spell to stay alive, which actually they need 2 removal spells to stay alive because I have the Bloodchief's Thirst. Okay, there's one. Land on top, not good. I will blow up 1 spider. And we just get in there. Let's go. That's game. GG's to the control opponent. They had a ton of answers, but honestly, Ranger class just completely grinds out any control deck. It's gross. Okay, good hand up against my guy Hatred. Pretty metal name with the Rakdos stuff. And we have good mana. And I twitch into Pack Leader, which is really nice. Only thing we need now is enough power toughness to get to 6 mana. Okay, looking like mono black. Cool. Still could be Orzhov. Let's play out the wolf. Deploy our threats. Westgate Regent is nice as top end finisher. We'll see what we're even up against. Okay. This really does look like mono black. Maybe just like a mono black treasure deck. Not ideal that we can't remove this just yet. And not ideal that this costs 4 mana to activate. So I guess we just poke in with the Eye Twitch. And say go. It is really tough that we didn't draw any other turn 3 or 2 plays, like Ranger class, White, Kazandu Mammoth, even like a Jaspira Sentinel would have been good. We do have the Bloodchief's Thirsts, but they have a 3-drop creature, so, you know, this card has some limitations. And they're on 5, they can technically cast Kaya right now. They just Vanishing versus my Wolf. Okay. I feel like we have a chance against this deck, but we did not open aggressively enough whatsoever. And let's remove the Merchant. Card is insane. It can... Oh, the opponent can spend the rest of their mana to draw a card. Okay, they have Deadly Dispute. No, they don't. So why didn't they sack their treasure? I don't know. Don't ask me, guys. Don't ask me. So we get in there again. Look at this Eye Twitch putting in a lot of individual damage. And after that, we have to ask ourselves, is it Regent or a Seeker's Chariot? If we play Regent, they essentially need to Blood on the Snow. But if they have Blood on the Snow, that isn't great because, well, it does cost them some treasure. They'll get a Merchant right back. But at least it does clear up 1 Blood on the Snow for 1 card instead of forcing me to go super wide. And if they have Vanishing Verse, that's completely fine too. We have not come out aggressively enough whatsoever. I'm very worried about how this game's going to go. Taking turn 3 off and taking turn 4 to remove a 3-drop isn't ideal. And the Merchant has a big booty. Okay, there's Kaya. So Kaya minuses and they have to discard a card? Okay. So at least we cost them some resources. And it's just a Shambling Ghast, which isn't insane, right? They'll be able to put the counter here once this thing gets taken out. This is a tough game. So what, do we even poke at Kaya? I suppose we poke at Kaya. And we just play out the Chariot. Or we can go face. I don't hate going face either, because one connection from the Chariot can take this out, but then also a connection from a cat can, but now technically can't. We'll see. I also like getting Chariot down because even if they remove my creatures, we have whites in hand to crew it. Yeah. There's the ghost form counter.
Ghosting feels weird.
Okay, dramatic finale. I literally don't know what this does. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 whenever one or more non-token creatures you control dies. Create a 2/1 white or an inkling. Okay. Interesting. I still have Bloodchief's Thirst. I think we just crew. Opponent has 2 mana, but Merchant will hold priority. I'm going to send everything face, and then I think we just Bloodchief's Thirst the Kaya. I mean, we do have grind potential. Chariot, we have Ebon Death, we have Ranger class. There's things we can do. There are stuff and things that we can do. Okay. So, that's taken out. They get a pretty decent board, all things considered. We can remove Kaya, although we don't get to play the white because we're missing a black source.
So this is
Not ideal. Also, I want this eye twitch to die. I want to learn for a containment breach. Oh my god. Okay. Cool. I guess we're holding it back as a blocker now. Skullport Merchant. This merchant has come back 3 times. It is starting to irritate me. Okay, Ranger class. That's a good one. So we play out the class. Level up the class. Crew this guy. And just attack with the Chariot. And see what the opponent wants to do. Or do we attack with the cats as well? I mean, attacking with the cats might push in more damage, especially if they want to double block here. Right, okay, so this is my option. I put the counter on the Chariot, and they can't remove it by double blocking, and I get in... Oh, they block here, I just get in 5 damage. Or I can attack with the Chariot. They can threaten to remove it, and then I get in another, like, 5 points of damage regardless. I think I'm good throwing away a cat. Or we could just attack with the Chariot, not get in 5 points of damage. Or 4 points of damage. No, we get in 5, they block, but we lose 1 cat. I think 5 points of damage is worth 1 cat. Especially since that cat will literally get replaced right here, and the counter goes on the Chariot. Sadly, they get a 2/1. Actually, they get 2 2/1s if I understand this correctly. Sorry, they get 2 4/3s, if I understand this correctly. Yeah, okay. Slight problem. So I think if they can remove the eye twitch, I'm dead. We can chump the Haven with the cat. We can chump a flyer with with the eye twitch. Do I double block? I think I double block. Grab a containment breach. Remove a faceless haven. It's not terrible. Okay. Hold on, yeah, dramatic finale triggers. Oh my god. This card is such a nightmare to play against. I think we have to take containment breach. Just because now at least our attacks can get through. Okay, so we start here. Remove you. Makes their entire board weaker. So now their board trades down. How much is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're actually not trading down for anything, which is pretty bad. I think we just crew here. We're probably dead in the air. Right, we attack. I think it depends how they block, but if they're not, like, if they play this well, then they're going to be fine. Counter on white or counter, I guess we're just going to clone this. Counter on white or counter on chariot. This means they lose a third creature. This means they lose a second for double blocking it. I think we put on the chariot. Chariot's more likely to matter if they block wrong. And we're pushing in 11 damage, which is unfortunate. Baleful Mastery. Yeah, okay, that's game. That's game. We lose to a Orzhov Blood Money deck with Dramatic Finale. And we literally lose to the Dramatic Finale, which is pretty funny. Hold on. 5, 6. This is 12. We're not dead. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. We're not dead. Alright, we're still in it. And my ass was about to scoop. Okay. I think they could have taken that damage and just killed us in the air. Okay, gassed. That's a problem because if it dies, they get flyers. Yeah. 3. Yeah, I take 3. Then why would they animate? You know what? It's fine. I am not even going to question it. We don't have enough to level this up and play this, or do we? No, we don't. So we go, and we hit that attack all. I can also attack with this and level it up. We hit that attack all button. I think we hold this back as a blocker. And we just put the counter. I could put it on the white. Is that relevant? I think they're going to block it, so I think it's better to try to build one of these up to a 4/4. Okay, they do that, which, so they fall at 3. And then they're going to -1 on my white. We still get a zombie, though. Oh, no, they -1 my eye twitch. Okay, so hold on. How big is this? This is a 6. 3. So do I just take expanded anatomy to make it a 8/5? Then if I block, I'm technically at 20. And if they don't remove it, I win. This is a game, alright. Or let's say I get... No, Inkling Summoning is no good. I don't have enough black. I can take Environmental Sciences, but that doesn't do all that much. It gains me a bit of life. I think the take is honestly Expanded Anatomy. Just to potentially gain more life off the Scavenger. But it only is 2 more life, whereas this gives me 3 more life. For sure. Okay, I'm taking the Conjuration. And I'm going to cast this first in case it influences my decision. Eye Twitch is pretty good. It's another blocker. But we are going to play the Scavenger. So, did they top deck removal for the Scavenger? They didn't, but they topped another Dramatic Finale, which is basically like 5 more damage. I'm not even going to do the math. We're going to block. They say good game. And I go up to 5, and we kill them. What a game that was. Oh, man. Whew. Good game, opponent. Did not expect to get out of that one after 3 dramatic finales. You guys can even tell I was about to scoop that up.